So you've been flying around the world. When did you start and where?
Well, 7 years ago, I got a phone call from Australia, and the organizer for the London-Sydney air race, 50 aeroplanes, participants from all over the world were in this race. They said, do you still want to be in the London-Sydney air race? And I said, I can't raise the $50,000 US. And he said, well, somebody in Arizona's just read your website, Maurice, and you made him laugh so much, he's just paid your ticket.
Ooh.
Now, that was 7 years ago.
Okay.
So when I got to Australia, I thought, well, I'm halfway around the world, but I had to go home to family and earn money and so on. So over the last 7 years, I've been doing hops, first of all around New Zealand and then up through Borneo to Japan, where over Kanazawa City 2 years ago, the engine stopped and I crashed in the middle of the city and flew under the wires and hit a truck. The wingtip just clipped a truck and I spun, pirouetted, and got soaked in fuel and everything and ran like mad from the aeroplane. And about the length from here to that rose bush was where the wing used to be. The rope around my leg to the life raft came to an end and I hit the ground so hard I twisted my ankle and did my neck, and I had to go to hospital for that, not for hitting the truck.
Not for the crash at all.
No, and because I said the wrong things on television, I mentioned the war.
Oh.
Because they kept asking me to apologize about the concern I'd caused the island. Well, when the fourth time I was interviewed, unfortunately I did mention Pearl Harbor, which was bad form. And the embassy had already warned me. They'd read the website and they said, Maurice, shut up. Well, and they said a few other things, and get out.
Okay.
And I lost it. I lost the cool, and they took a year to get my airplane back. I then shipped it in a container to the Bronx, to New Jersey, which was an amazing experience for an Englishman. And then we took it on the top of a car, an automobile, the whole airplane.
What sort of airplane was it?
Now, the airplane was General Patton flew this Piper Cub. It's known as a J3L4. Mm-hmm. It was used by the military in 1944 in the D-Day landings in Normandy, in France. Mm-hmm. And they used it to fly out of plough fields, off the roads, off the beach, to carry messages between the tank regiments, pushing their way up to Paris. And actually, by the time they got into Germany, one famous American sergeant actually fitted rockets, and he actually hit 2 German tanks with it. Now, this girl was called Liberty Girl, and she was left, and General Patton, the French Historical Society, told me after I bought it, which is why I half believed the story.
Okay.
Because if they'd given me the story before I bought it, I would have thought they were just trying to sell me the airplane.
Okay.
But it was an independent organization that said that airplane was flown by General Patton, old Blood and Guts, because he was a pilot.
Yes.
And I've seen pictures of him flying Cubs. And the whole aviation industry and commercial pilots up there in 747s all know the Piper Cub because they learnt to fly on them.
Okay.
And
how old was it?
it built in 1943.
Okay.
And I bought it in France 30 years ago.
How much was it?
I bought it for £1,400, okay. £1,300, 26, nearly $3,000. Yeah, about $3,000. And I flew it back with no maps and no paperwork in the snow, and I had to land on the roads. And of course, what you had to do was to make sure the gendarmes always wore black leathers and black BMWs, mm-hmm. and they stuck out like a sore thumb in the snow. You could see where they were. So I had to fly up and down in the snowstorm, 2 kilometers each way from the petrol station, what they call a gas station in America, before I could quickly land and fill it up with fuel.
Okay.
I couldn't land at airfields because they were in 2 feet of snow.
Okay. And was that in Guernsey?
No, this was in eastern France, and I got it back into England.
Yes.
and I had it put into my name, G. Kirk. No, it's not on there. G. Kirk is the registration of the aeroplane.
Okay.
And I've had it for 30 years. She's been blown over and rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, we shipped it to Maine, where it was rebuilt, and then put together in Florida.
Yes.
And I have just now flown, because I'm on the way to the Falkland Islands. I want to stake my claim. There's rumour of oil being found, and I want to get there before Mr. Bush.
Oh.
Okay.
I see. I understand.
And,
I think.
And in the last week, I have flown from Key West to Havana, which of course Americans can't do.
Okay.
So there was some rather sullen faces.
Okay.
Anyway, I got to Havana.
They knew you were going to Havana?
Well, I filed a flight plan and they said, you can't go to Havana, no airplane from Key West. I said, yes, I can. I'm English and it's English registered. G.
Yes.
And at Havana, I was robbed and I'm now suspicious of the CIA. I joke. 5 big people, big boys, jumped me in the back streets.
Oh.
And I finished up in hospital and they took my passport. But Havana, wonderful place. Oh, magic. Then I flew to the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm. You got your passport back?
Within 1 day, within 2 hours, I got a passport.
Okay.
Within a day, I got and I still, it's about the only piece of paper I got, apart from my English flag, which of course I had to have England written on it. This is really a footballer's flag, but it's England. It's the other way.
Oh.
And I fly this, and I decided over my experience that I'd have one with England written on because these foreign countries, they don't know. And I've been flying that one. But anyway, I rescued that from the airplane. I'll come to the airplane in a minute. I left the Cayman Islands to Jamaica, where everybody told me not to go to.
Yep.
So I went.
So how was your experience in Cayman?
It reminded me of my experiences of Guernsey, where I was a veterinary surgeon for 10 years.
Okay.
And I don't want to spoil my day by talking about
Okay,
it.
let's move right on to Jamaica.
Jamaica, wonderful, singing, dancing, laid back. And I thought I'd do a jolly around the island, and I found a drug strip, a strip cut out from and they had big concrete blocks all the way down the middle with spikes. And to stop airplanes landing,
Yep.
well, that was just too tempting for a Kirk. And I got in and had a bit of fun. And then I flew and spent the night in Kingston.
Uh-huh.
Again, wonderful place. I'm going back when I have the money.
Okay.
And then I left there for Haiti.
Yes.
And everybody told me not to go to Haiti.
Why'd you go?
And I ran out of very low on fuel and landed at, I was trying to get to San Diego, is it?
Okay, yes.
A bit short
To
of
the
maps.
Santo Domingo.
So, yes, I'm a bit short of maps, so I rely very much on my GPS. So I had to land at Barahona,
Okay.
Barahona, where I had hospitality, which was fantastic, at Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
The boys drove me around and got me fuel from cans, and I slipped them a bottle of whiskey, bought them a bottle of whiskey, and gave them some cash when I got to